All right, good morning, guys. Quick sound check. Let me know you can hear me. Sound check out 1, 2. Hope you guys are all having a good morning so far. It is Thursday, November 14th, 2019. Awesome. Appreciate that, guys. Is it cold, Robert? I saw your message this morning, stoking the fire at like 4 a.m. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right. Couple things to consider for today. So I sent the morning write-up out, and so basically, I've kind of concluded on the day here that I am not going to trade any futures here, any S&Ps, Nasdaq, stuff like that here. A couple reasons why, and we'll talk through those. But right now, coming up on the day, I think the big thing we have to be concerned about here is 10 a.m. Fed Chair Powell testifying here. It says that he's due to testify on the economy before the House Budget Committee in D.C. He was talking as well yesterday. So this guy, I guess, earning his paycheck here and getting around doing some speeches for us. But I don't really care what he says. But the thing that kind of stood out to me yesterday that always, kind of in these current situations where we're at, I mean, volatility is definitely welcomed as a trader. And we're currently sitting with a pretty low VIX at the moment. VIX is sitting at 13.08 as the close of yesterday. But we had this, random spike yesterday. I have no idea what this news was about it. I don't necessarily care either way. But we had a random, 10.5 minute bar to the downside there yesterday. Pretty much gave back half of, the morning's move in 5 minutes there. And like I said, it was no scheduled news announcement or anything like that. So we're seeing some things like that. Markets, holding support, trying to rally, but really not able to get kind of anything going here. If we're looking at the hourly chart, pretty much we opened here coming into this week down here at about 30.76s. We've gone higher. We've come back, retest basically those lows, tried to go higher one more time. And then right now we're back pretty much in the exact middle of the range for the entire week so far. And we're at basically new all-time highs here. So that combined with, the fact that we have gold here this morning right up into those 68.30 levels, this is going to be kind of make or break here. This potentially, like I said, changes the the trend for gold, and we actually might end up getting a rally from here. Kind of out of these lows that have been set so far. So kind of paying attention to that. Gold's up today, 0.43%. Overall markets here, relatively, small move down. S&P's 0.18%, Nasdaq 0.25, Russell 0.32, that's the standout, and the Dow down 0.13. So there is that. We've got bonds up here as well. Bonds are going to be rallying right up into some resistance zones here today, about 158.12, so 158.13, so about another tick or so. We've already tested that level, and like I said, that's going to be, another kind of determining factor here for me. Bonds so far have ticked that basically one tick through that 158.14s there. So we've got some gold, some bond issues coming in. We had crude oil in the overnight session here, which again, I don't necessarily correlate this to the markets. Crude oil's high of the day is 57.79s. Crude oil low is 57.29s. Those levels are 33 and 79. So we top ticked it on obviously on the top, and about 4 ticks through on the bottom for crude. The other thing I'm noticing here, and I don't exactly know how much weight this really is going to play in the U.S. markets, but the next thing will, is we have the Nikkei down 1% today, 235 points in the Nikkei. So that's a fairly decent move for the Nikkei. We've got all the rest of the market slightly down here, kind of basing on that support, middle of the range for the week. And And then the one that really kind of stands out here is the Russell, which yesterday did break these kind of support levels down here around 1588s. Was able to kind of regain those a little bit yesterday. Got a little bit of a rally going, but unable to close, obviously green on the day. At the same time, we've got the Dow making new all-time highs yesterday. So Dow is actually the strongest here. It's got support down at 27,688s, and it's traded a low of 27,695s so far here in the overnight session, but it traded a high of 27,806. Yesterday's highs was 27,764s, so we actually went through those highs yesterday in the Dow. So we've got some really kind of conflicting markets. Dow super strong, Nasdaq a little bit weaker because again Nasdaq didn't trade up through, kind of these highs back here from 8,300 quarters. We got 82.85s in the overnight session. Russell obviously much weaker. The Nikkei much weaker. Gold strong but into resistance, potential trend change area. Same story with bonds there. So a culmination of a bunch of things there, leading me to believe that this is, and I've talked about this too, where trend change times are like some of the hardest times to trade, where the market's deciding if it wants to go higher, wants to go lower. And there's really just a big battle going on right here. So for me, I'm going to be patient. I'm not really looking for anything here in the markets until we get under 3076s in the S&Ps. We do have a level in place here at 88 quarters. That's acting as support here in the overnight session, 3087 quarters being the low. We've got resistance up at 3100s, 3099.75 traded as the high here. Decent volume in the overnight session, 207,000 contracts so far. But overall, just undecided on direction here. And I don't like this, that 5-minute bar from yesterday. Powell speaking today, really, really undecided market there. So the combination of all those things combined says to me, while yes, I could find some trades potentially inside of this zone and I could maybe scalp for a little bit here and there, I would much rather just protect the capital. We're coming into monthly options expiration as well tomorrow. So leads me to believe that, we're also going to stay kind of range bound into that, given, obviously the current range that the market has been in. So I do have levels in place here. Again, I'm interested in the short side under 3076s here. 3088 quarters can act as support on the day. If they break, I'm not really interested in anything until we break 3076s. I think that gets us a move to 3066 quarters, and then from there we've got a lot of room to drop. If we get through 3100 at the top side, then I think we can start looking for long opportunities, but I think those are also going to be kind of fairly short-lived here. What I think makes the most sense to me, and this will yet to be proven out just yet, is we make one more attempt at highs either today or tomorrow, and then next week we can have that big, kind of 1%, maybe 2% down day in the overall markets. So for me right now, we're in just a really big do not trade zone, and it's super important that, that I respect and follow the rules that I have in place for that, which is what I'm going to exercise today. So I'll still look at some individual equities. Those have been moving well. Obviously, we still have positions on in CHTR, Amazon, CMG, Facebook, Netflix, and UA. For the large part, those are all defined. Well, they all are defined risk at this point. And just have to let those manage out into tomorrow. And then after tomorrow, the position or the portfolio will be flat going into the new week. One small position in the gold futures there as a spread that will stay on. But in terms of equities and options, the portfolio will be flat at that point. So anyways, that's what I'm looking at for today here. Nothing is really getting me super excited or, kind of stalking anything exceptional here this morning. I did see that BYND was gapping up this morning. That was kind of the standout for me in terms of equities. BYND was gapping up a little bit. Markets are gapping down some, so that kind of stood out. And then Apple was also gapping down, I think, a little further than I would have kind of expected here. given this move. But again, I don't think there's really much to do with that either. So anyways, that's what I've got for you guys this morning. Sounds kind of doom and gloom, but again, just a preservation of capital type of day, I think, here. So, if you are going to trade, obviously kind of keep some of those things in mind. Keep the 10 a.m. news announcement in mind for Powell. We do have crude oil inventories coming out at 11 today. Crude's been pretty much stuck in that overnight range, almost top tick to top tick, or bottom tick to top tick there. So if that breaks, potentially a trade idea in there. Otherwise, it's kind of a sit on hands day for me. So thank you guys so much for tuning on and hanging out with me this morning. I will be back in just a couple minutes for everyone in the MLT Discord. That is where you get to see me trade live each and every morning for about the first hour to hour and a half of the day, and see what we can make of these markets here on the day. So if you guys want to join myself, Jay, Perry, Rob, Frank, all the rest of the team in there, there's a link in the description below. Go ahead and click that. Get you guys all the details. So thank you guys so much. Trade safe. Hope you guys all have a great day, and I'll see you back here in just a few minutes.